This video will talk about factoring trinomials where a is not equal to 1. This method is called the slide divide bottoms up. It's called lots of different things. That's the way that I learned it. And I want to show you first the AC method and then come back and show you the slide divide and how it really works compared to what we've seen because you're used to doing the 4 terms. So if I do my x in AC method, I'll do AC method over here. Then we have 2 times 2, or 4. Okay, we have our 2 times our 2, and then the 5 goes in the bottom. So factors of 4 that add up to 5, that's going to be easy. There's only one set. It can be 4 and 1. So we have 2y squared, and then our two middle terms are plus 4y and plus y, and then our plus 2, my fault. Our first and last terms stay. We separate the 5y into the two new terms, and then we do the 4 terms. So these two terms have 2 and y in common. 2y and y would give me 2y squared, plus 2 times 2 is 4, and the y is already on the outside. And I take these two, and again I have a common factor of 1 left with y plus 2. So y plus 2 is the greatest common factor. Remember, we do it again. And then my other factor will be the 2y plus 1. How do we do slide divide? Slide is first. We slide the 2 over to here. That is slide. So it now becomes y squared plus 5y times 2 plus the 2 times the 2. Or, I'm just showing you that. Most of us will just go straight to this one and say y squared plus 5y plus 4. So we've done the slide. Now we're going to factor. And remember, now it's easy because we could do the x again if we wanted to. Let's do a different color x so we don't get confused. We could do the x if we wanted to. It's 1 times 4, and the middle term is 5. So again, we have 4 and 1. And remember, when you have a is equal to 1, then you can just write y and then what you see in your x, so plus 4, and then y and what you see in the other x part, so it's plus 1. And you notice it doesn't look the same as the other one yet because it's not. We have to now get ready to divide. And I'm going to do that even in a different color so that we can see what happens here. We're going to divide, and what we divide is by the coefficient. So we take this constant that we had multiplied by 2, and now we're going to divide it. We're going to take it back to the form that we had. So we multiplied it by sliding, then we divide it to get back. So we haven't really changed our problem now. And then we're going to simplify. So this becomes y plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. And y plus, and 1/2 does not simplify, so we leave it as 1/2. Okay? Now, what I want you to see is I had a 4 divided by 2 had a factor of 2 in common. So that's what happened here. And then 1/2 had a common factor of 1, so it did not reduce. I'll do this again on another problem. So you see these factors actually happened with the slide divide. If you don't quite see that, maybe eventually you will. And then we are ready for our final step, and that is just to completely simplify. Actually, that's what we call bottoms up. Bottoms up. And that is anything in the bottom is going to move up. So this one doesn't have a denominator, so we just leave it like it is, y plus 2. But when we do have a fraction, we take that denominator and bring it back up to y and then plus just the 1 on top. And if you're not quite sure that all that was legal and makes it really work, bringing the 2 back up, the bottoms up, now makes it so that when I multiply, I'll have the right form. 2y times y is 2y squared. The outside terms, y times 1 would be plus y. The inside terms, 2y times 2 would be plus 4y. And then 2 times 1 is 2. And if we multiply that out, we have, or simplify, I should say, 2y squared, y plus 4y will give us the 5y, and then plus the 2. So we really did it correct. That's if I do the slide, divide, and bottoms up, we're going to slide the 3 over to the negative 4. So now we have x squared minus 11x, and 3 times negative 4 will give me negative 12. And if I do my x factor, negative 12, and factors of negative 12 that add up to a negative 11 will be negative 12 and positive 1. We write our factors as x, and then what we see, minus 12 times the x and what we see, so plus 1. So let me remind you here, this was slide, and now I'll change color so we can do the next thing, and that's going to be the divide. And remember, you're going to, in this case, we're going to divide by 3, the leading coefficient. Okay, so we multiplied it, we're going to slide and multiply by 3, and then we're going to divide by 3. So the constants always get with the sliding and the dividing. The constant of negative 4 multiplied by 3. Now the constant of negative 12 divided by 3, and the constant of 1 divided by 3 when we do the divide. And now we're ready to reduce in this step. So we have x minus, and 12 divided by 3 goes in perfectly, so it's 4. And then 1 divided by 3 does not reduce, so we just have 1/3. And then we're ready to bottoms up. And that simply means you could think of this as over 1. So we're going to move that up, and we're going to take our 3 and we're going to move it up so that we don't have fractions anymore. So this just remains x minus 4. And then when we do have a fraction, that coefficient becomes, that fraction denominator becomes our coefficient, and then plus the numerator. Slide divide. So I'm going to slide. So that's going to be 15 times 6, negative 6 actually. So that leaves me then with a squared, because I slid it over, it's no longer there, minus a, and then the 15 times negative 6 gives me a negative 90. And then we are ready to do our x, and I do want to do the calculator one more time. So negative 90 divided by x, AC divided by x, we're still doing that. And we're going to look at our table, but I want to go to table set because I know I want to start at 0. 9 might be too big. Might not be. Actually, it probably wasn't. And I need some negative 1. So if I come in here, all of these are negative. Like that would be negative 13 and negative 9. And I keep going until I see, oh, here at 9, I have 9 and negative 10. And if I add 9 and negative 10, that's equal to 1. So negative 10, just because I'm used to put my negative in front, plus 9. Doesn't matter in this method, it really doesn't matter. So how do I do that? I write my two factors, and since my coefficient is 1 right now, I just write a and a, and then my two little numbers in there, minus 10 and plus 9. Now we're ready to divide. And what are we going to divide by? We're going to divide by 15. We divide by a. Okay? You always divide by a. So because we multiplied by a to begin with, we're going to divide by a to get it back. And now we reduce. So now we're reducing. So a is equal to, or minus, 10 divided by 15 has a common factor of 5, so it's 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 3 is 15. And then over here we have a plus, and these both have a common factor of 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 5 is 15. So now we actually do have reduced fractions that we have to work with. We had fractions and they reduced to fractions, so now we're ready for bottoms up. And remember, that means take the denominators and move them up into the coefficient spot. And the bottoms move up and become 3a minus my numerator of 2 and 5a minus my numerator, or plus my numerator of 3. And since we didn't do it another method to compare, let's multiply it out just to make sure. So 3 times 5a is going to give me 15a squared. So far, so good. 3a times 3 will be plus 9a. And then negative 2 times 5a will be minus 10a. That's looking good because that was my two little numbers in my x. And then negative 2 times 3 will be minus 6. And that looks good. Simplifying, 15a squared is my first term. Yay. 9a minus 10a would be minus a. That's what I want. And then minus 6. So we know we did it correctly.